What's up, guys? I have an update for you. I wanted to show you something that I've been working on for quite a few weeks now. You probably have seen me riding around the trails with a GoPro on my chest or taking pictures. So here's the reason why. I've updated the Amelia Trailforks page fully and basically have added every trail, every access road, pretty much everything, even old trails and proposed trails to the park, to the page. So it's now fully populated. The first thing you're gonna see is that there's some names that are incorrect, like Potato Vine 1, Potato Vine 2. There's no such thing. This is Sandbowl. But this is gonna take a little bit to upload from Trailforks' side. They save those names on a different database and it takes a little bit to generate, so it's gonna be a bit before they get to it. But everything's live right now, and if you click on the trails, you get the right name. Potato Vine, Sandbowl. Here's a proposed access road, proposed beginner bypass I'm gonna build in the future. Here's the old Sandbowl entrance. This is full of mud right now. It used to be really muddy. So the trails, you can click on them and you'll get the right name. Key Biscayne, you get the right name for them. Now in this page, this is a front page, this is an entry page, and there's a lot of information here about the trails, the rules, how to, and then here's the mountain bike, e-bike, hike, and trail running. This is a multi-use trails, keep in mind, so you will find hikers and trail runners in there. But not all the trails are for trail running and hiking. The jump lines are out of reach for them. Also the gold mines area because of the over-unders. So there's some trails that are not accessible to them. Here you'll find a lot more information about the park, including some of the trails, the most popular ones, some routes, which I will get to in a little bit, photos, videos. I have a ton of videos, trail reports, and also activity feed. As you guys start getting into Trailforks and start linking your Stravas and your Garmin Connect accounts, you'll start populating some of these features that need to be populated. Now, one of the very cool things about this map is that it's got overlays, and you can change here on their base map. Instead of having just a map, you can do a Google satellite. And what this does is it gives you a bird's eye view that's a little bit more familiar with what you're used to seeing. So here you can see some of the entries to the access roads, and you can follow the lake. You're familiar with what the lake looks like. And if you go back here, you can even see Razorback. You can make this page full screen so that you can see the quarry is back here. The tilted container is back here. So let me go back over here to, let me change the base map back to Trailforks. Right, so here's Trick or Treat. This is probably my favorite trail out of all of them, in this direction at least. I really like this trail in this direction. If we go to View Trail, you'll get all the information here. Now, this line here is for the elevation, but there's not enough data right now. I just made this trail, so there's not enough data for it to populate the ups and downs. So as people link their Garmin's and their Stravas and start riding, Trailforks will pull that data and put the elevation. There's also some tips and tricks about each trail. I've taken the time to write out everything, including if it floods or if it doesn't. And then lastly, there's videos and pictures, which are very important. And you guys can add pictures and videos also. Now, the elephant in the room, yes, car trail is there. You can see it. You can also see a polygon that I've drawn for federally protected wetland. Car trail is here, and if you click on it, you'll get some information about it. It is permanently closed and decommissioned, and this explains why. There's a paragraph here why. There's just no videos or pictures. If any of the old timers want to send me the pictures, I'll add them. Same thing goes for playground. It's over here. This whole area is flooded right now. It's underwater. It always used to flood, and that's why it's closed. And if you go there, there's no pictures, there's no video. But if anybody has any pictures or video you want to send it to me, I'll gladly put it in there. It's nice to have a repository of information, a legacy repository for all this stuff that's happened here. It's good to save history. It's always good to remember where the trails came from and the work that was done prior to this. Now you'll see little dots here and there, little red things, and here's a purple one and a red one, and some of them they're all POIs, points of interest, and some of them are technical trail features. Like for example, here's the Ruiz Bridge, and if you click on it, there's some information about it. There's a lot of pictures of it, so you can see what it looks like, so you can prepare yourself for it when you finally go ride it. Here's the memorial for Mario Garcia. It's in Trick or Treat. There's a few photos here. It's actually right over I call it the root garden in Trick or Treat. It doesn't look like in the picture, but this is a mountain. It's like a little mound that you go over, and it's full of pine needles and roots, and the memorial is high up on the tree. Please, guys, don't disturb that. I know this trail is famous for having stuff disappear off of it, but this stuff just has sentimental value. It doesn't have any intrinsic value, so just please leave it there. Let's see what else is here. The Plymouth Rock is here. I went ahead and took a picture of it. It's a rock. It's got a date of when it was put there or when it was built. I'm not sure. What else? The over-under tunnels in gold mines are also called out, and there's pictures for them also. And there's sites such as the boat in Rabbit Ears. Man, that boat is old. And something a little bit more usable, like the Chupacabra rest area. There's a picture of it so you can familiarize yourself when you come to it. When you see the fire hose, you'll know that you're there. Let's get back to the main page so I can show you the trails tab. Right here where it says overview, there's trails, and there's 33 trails, and you can filter here which trails you want to look at. So if you want to do only green, you click on green, and then you go down here and hit filter, and it shows you only the 18 that we have. And then you can do the same thing for the blue trails, which are intermediate, and the black diamond, which are the advanced. We have one pro line in the jump line area and the skills area. Getting back to the main page, there's something very useful here for you guys that are just getting into Amelia and you're not sure how to ride it. There's routes. So I went ahead and made some routes for you guys. The dry loop for beginners, it only uses the beginner trails. Then there's also a dry loop for intermediate, and it's a little bit longer, 3 miles. And this one uses camel humps, and it uses Golden Gate, which is now part of the dry loop, which it wasn't before. You used to have to go this way, and now Golden Gate, we fixed the area down here that used to flood, and now this is part of the dry loop. So yeah. Also greens and flats. This one is basically all the green trails, and it excludes Coffee Trail because it has some climbs, but this is what most people do to recover after they do a full lap. They do all the flats, and probably the most popular is a full lap of Amelia, which includes everything. It's 7.7 miles, and it's basically every trail. Now, to go along with that, let's say we go to full lap of Amelia. There's a video here for it. There's a lot of videos here, but there's a full lap of Amelia CCW, because right now the trails are running counterclockwise. So you can go to it and you can watch the whole thing if you want. Now I did this. These are all me riding. Keep in mind, I'm not doing race pace. I'm just riding it normally. And I normally do wear gloves, but in this case, since I was playing with the GoPro on the phone, I didn't wear gloves, and I was even riding with my glasses, which is odd. I usually just don't wear, I usually wear Oakleys. But in this case, I had to wear the readers because I can't, I couldn't see what was happening with the... Anyway, These are just me riding normally. You know, I'm not Bob McCarty by any stretch of the imagination, and I'm not riding as fast as him, and there's also no music and no talking. So these are just, you know, the sounds of nature and the bicycle. But anyway, most of these have a video, like Dry Loop Intermediate. It's got a video also, so you can familiarize with what the intermediate dry loop looks like before you get out there and start riding it. And all of them start at the trailhead and obviously end coming out and end at the trailhead. That's it for routes. Another one is a route to jumps. Okay, I know that a lot of people are going to be coming only to ride jumps, so there's a route for getting to the jumps area. You basically take the Lakeside Trail all the way to the West Access Road and then go north, and then you reach it. It's kind of simple, but if you haven't been here before, it will be really tough to find, especially if you go to this area, to the beginner area. You would potentially never find it because you do all this and you wouldn't get to it. All right, another thing is the layers. Okay, one thing I really like about the layers is that if you're looking for a particular area of the trail, let's say photos. Here's all the photos I've taken. I took all these photos. There's a ton of photos. Pretty much every inch of trail has been photographed. There are some areas missing which I couldn't do because they're too technical, and I couldn't ride and take pictures of them, like Key Biscayne, the lower area, the entire Golden Gate, Razorback, all the stuff that's really difficult. I'm gonna have to go back and do it on foot, which is what I had to do with Rabbit Ears and Chupacabra. I couldn't do those advanced trails while riding, taking photos. I had to do them on foot. So yeah, I'm gonna get to that eventually. And in January, when I switch direction, I'm gonna do all the videos going the other direction. So we're gonna have that, and hopefully some guys can submit some pictures for Car Trail and Playground, and I can add those in there. Also, Vitry's Corner is missing. Now, another thing that's kind of important is videos of the access roads. Okay, so the West Access Road is this one, the one that goes to Razorback. And in these videos, I'm basically traversing all the access roads, and there are call outs of what's on each entry, so you can see what's where. So it'll help you a little bit if you've been riding and you saw an access road and you didn't know where it went and you were wondering. Well, this video will answer your questions. It'll let you get familiarized with the trail layout and what goes where, and etc., etc. And at one point I'm just going in circles so that you can see that it's all connected. It's basically all connected. There's one for the West Access Road, and there's another one for the Diagonal Access Road. The Diagonal Access Road, obviously it's diagonal, and it connects the whole east side of the park, and it has, you know, a couple of connectors. The one that goes all the way out to the lake through Key Biscayne, and then it's got the Camel Humps connector that goes all the way to Horse Trail, and which also goes to Playground. So those are things that you can watch on your own time if you want to. Now, the coolest thing, I think, is the jumps heat map. So it allows you to see where all the jumps are. There's obviously more jumps in the advanced section. There's one here, there's a couple here in Paintball Loop, but there's less of them here. Now, keep in mind, this is a bi-directional park, so any jumps that are in the middle of a trail need to work in both directions. So they're not going to be profiled the same way that the jumps in the jump section are. They're typically going to have a landing and a takeoff that are very, very much alike. All right, the very last thing is the reports. So we can do reports here, and we're going to begin tracking all the time that we spend in the trail working here. So you already see that we've been adding overgrown vegetation, 4 hours cutting, water drainage issues, 4 hours. On Sunday we fixed a Chupacabra drop, and this report even has pictures of the before and after work, and also which volunteers took part in it. I'm trying to get all my volunteers to sign up, but we spent a ton of time. Obviously it says paid. No, we are unpaid. None of us get paid. We're all putting time doing this for love of the trails to make them better and improve them. So that's all for now. I wanted to show you guys everything that's been done. This is a ton of work. I've spent weeks getting this to this point. The next thing is integrating it into the website, and we're gonna be integrating into the website, and I really want everybody to get on board with this and get your Trailforks account. And if you want to file a report because of a downed tree or a water puddle or something like that, it's very much more likely that we're gonna get to it, because we want to make sure that any report here is addressed with pictures. It plays to our advantage, and we want to make sure that, you know, whatever issues are brought up, we take care of them in a timely fashion. Very last thing, I know I've said the last thing like three times. Donate Trail Karma. You can donate through here to Amelia Trail Builders Club. You can donate $5, $15, $25, $50. You get Trail Karma. You also get Trail Karma by adding pictures, doing reports, there's a list here of what you get. Trail Karma. You get different points for doing different actions in the, or commenting, putting pictures, all that stuff basically adds up. And this is a way to bring the community together. I think it's great, and I've really enjoyed doing this. I know it's a one-time thing, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed working on it and putting it together. And yeah, we'll be doing events here. We got events planned for the trails where we'll be putting them here. Ride logs. There's a lot of stuff here. You guys can explore this on your own time. There's also an app for your phone which allows you to record rides and shoot some over to your Strava and to your Garmin account instantly. So thank you guys. Talk to you later. Take care. Bye bye.